This conference will now be recorded.
In previous class, so we discussed okay, accessing methods, right? So how many types we can access? How many types we can access either methods or variables? We can access in three ways, either methods or variables. So directly we can access the class name reference, and class name reference, if you want to access the class name reference, that should have a static keyword, whether it may be a method or it may be a variable, right? And again we can access for with object reference. And this is the example we have given. We can access add method directly, and we can access we can access add method with class name reference. If it is a static, you can access with object reference. This is a class, right? How to create object? Class name object name equals to new class name, right? And then return type. So what is the return type, ma'am? So whenever if you want to return a value after executing your method, so you can return the values based on by using a special Java keyword called return, right? So what you can return any data type. You can return any data type. You can return even object reference also. How will be the statement? Always. So it is the last line of your method. A special keyword called return. After that, what are the value you are going to return? You have to give returning value, right? So the syntax like this: public, either it may be static or non-static. Suppose if I want to return integer, public integer, my method name, let's consider my method name is add method. You can pass parameter, any parameter. So always return statement should be last line of your method. If you try to give anywhere before the last line, after the last line, if you want to give any code, if you want to write any code, then the program will throw you error, because always your return statement should be a last line of your method. If you're returning any value, after that you should not you could not write any statement. Clear? And after that, and remember, always your method return type should match with your return. See, this is here I am not writing anything, that's why my method name is void. Here I am returning integer. What I am returning here, integer. My return type should be match with my integer. After the return type, you should not give anything. Clear, team? And after that, we discuss about the passing parameters, right? How to pass parameter? How to pass parameter, team? So within the parentheses, we have to pass the parameter based on our requirement. Here my requirement in this example, my requirement is I want to make my add method dynamically, so that I can pass any number by the time of calling that method. Here I am calling my add method inside into main method. Here I am passing the value this one. I am passing the value this one. If I execute the program, so if I execute the program, the add method will execute, and inside add method, what are the statement I have written? Please add a value and b value, which is coming from this one parenthesis. Consider this is a local variable. What is a local variable? Variable which is declared inside a method, that is we are calling as a local variable, and the variable which is declared within the parenthesis, that is also we are considering as a local variable. Clear, team? So whenever by the time of calling, you have to pass the parameter. See, let me call add method here. Now it is showing int a, int b, combination of these two parameters, add method. Now this time you have to pass the parameter to that particular method. Because it is requiring two parameters, I am passing two parameters, parameter 1, parameter 2. My 10 value come to here, a value, now it will become a equals to 10, right? My 20 value comes to here, now it will become b equals to 20. Now it will come to here, a containing 10, b containing 20. So a plus b storing into one more result, because we will get an error if you store the two resultant value and the data type should be integer. Now this result I am going to return, and this result comes to here after the execution of this program. After the execution of the add method, the add method come up with a response and it come up with the result of a plus b. Now because I'm returning here, so and it should start match with my return statement, should match with data type. What is the result here? Result is a value and the data type is integer, and I'm returning here. I have to match, this method should match with return type. Again I'm changing to integer. Now the add method after execution coming with the result which is integer, I have to store it into one more variable. That's the final return. Final result will contain the final value, right? So remember team, so whenever your method having the parameters, by the time of calling that method, you have to supply the value. And this add method, now it's dynamic in nature. It can add any number whatever you're passing here. Now if I pass 100 here, so what is the value of b here? What is the value of b? Please ping me team. Value of b. Come on, doing quickly. Yeah, thank you. Sweta ma'am, Bhargavi, what is the output and what is the b value here? Thank you, thank you. See, remember, so value declaration or value assignment is based on the sequence. See, if you're passing 100 here, this 100 comes to a here. So now it will become, by the time of execution, it will become 100. A equals to 100, and the b value remains same, and b equals to 20. And it will comes to here, and the logic is a plus b. I'm saying please add this a1 and b1 and store it into result, and the return that result value. Now if I execute this program, what could be the output? It will give you 120, because my a value is 100, my b value is 20. If I make 200b, now it is considering a value 100, b value is 200. I'm returning a value here. Observe, there is a difference between returning and printing team. See, if I want to make any changes based on this result, see, my further use is I want to make some result here, make some changes here, or else here let's consider I want to add something amount or percentage to this value. I can do this one, but here I'm not using this value, just I'm printing the value, that's it. Clear? That is how we have to sorry that is how we have to pass parameters to methods. Simple, ma'am. Within the parentheses, whatever the value you want to pass, you have to give based on the integer. So already we declare, right? So what is the syntax of variable declaration? Data type, variable name equals to variable value, Out of this data type and variable, see data type int something d equals to 100. See data type, variable name, variable value. Out of this data type, variable name and variable value, always variable value is optional. Equals to variable value is optional. That is how we have here within the parentheses. See the variable value, where I am updating this variable value by the time of calling only. Clear? Clear team? That is how you have to pass parameter. That is how you have to return the statement. And always remember, return statement should be a last line, and it should not, sorry, it should match with your return type. And here, so what I'm saying here, void is no response or no value. It is not a zero team. Again, it's a false statement. I should not say zero. For understanding purpose, I said zero. Again, if it is zero, again it's a primitive data type, right? Again, zero also one number, whether it may be byte short, in even we can return zero also. But void is nothing but it's a nothing. It should not return anything. We cannot store it again. Clear? And there is no any data type to store the void. Remember, they may ask you like this simple question. So can I return a void? You cannot return a void because it is not a data type. You cannot store it by the time of calling. Clear? And let me take one more package here. Package inheritance. So let me create a class here. New class B. Just I have created a package. My package name is inheritance. Sorry, inheritance, and my class name is B. Right? See, can I take one more class here inside this package? Respond quickly, team. Can I take one more package inside my inheritance package? One more class? Thank you. So how I can take? See, again, package, right click, new class. Or else, see here, can I take one more class inside my class? Here only. Here I want to take a class in this file. Is it possible or not? One of the answers no. Okay, okay. Thank you, team. See, even here I can take a class, but this time observe team. This time I'm taking class B. Observe. Sorry, public class B. What is it in B? Okay, already defined. Okay, let me take A. Observe team. This is my package. Inside a package, this is a file. Inside this file, I have a B class, I have a class. There is no relation between this class and this class. Even this, consider this is a file. Inside this file, I have taken one class, I have taken A class, I have taken B class. There is no relation as of now. And remember, I can take two classes, any number of classes inside this one. Here I can take one more class also, no problem. But this time should be a class, just to denote this is a class. You can take C like this. You can take any number of classes. Or else, if you want, you can take one class inside another class. This will allow. This is we are calling as nested classes. Like this, you can take n number of classes. Remember, inside a method, you should not create a method. But inside a class, we can create a class. Within a class, we can create n number of methods, and within a file, we can create n number of classes. You have to practice like this, team. Okay, and remember in Eclipse, so one class should be public, and remember this class should be having with main method. Always you have to maintain your main method in this class only, public class, whatever the class having the public, and that class should be having, should have main method. Clear, team? Right, see, this is my B class. So let me remove this main method. So as of now, I have a method called public void test B, right? System under println, and to understand purpose, this is a test B method. If I want to execute this B method, my B method, so how can I execute this B method? Anyone? I want to execute this B method. How to execute? If you're not able to type this much of line, so you can unmute yourself. If I want to execute this B method, how to execute test B method, which is having a test class? So that's what I'm asking. So how do this? I want to execute. Just tell me the way. I want to execute this test method. What are the possible ways to execute? Let's consider interviewer asked this question, and he taken a class and taken a method. Asking the question, I want to execute this method. How to execute? What is your approach? And tell me the approach what you already know. Exactly. See, first of all, you should have a main method. Yes or no? And main method I can take anywhere inside this class, right? First of all, you should have a main method. Inside main method, so we have to create object. First of all, we have to create object. How to create object, team? Class name, object name equals to Java keyword new, and again the class name parenthesis. This one. This is the how we can create object, right? Typically, what is object, team? Any idea? Okay, very good. Even we can access with class name reference. Typically, what is an object, team? Whenever this line execute, what may happen technically, internally? See, anyway, I can access this method, test B method. So I can access this method by using object reference. What is my object? B dot test. I can access like this with object reference. Now observe, team. So this is my B class. Inside B class, I have a method, test method. I want to execute. For that, I have taken main method, because without main method, we cannot execute any program. Remember, first of all, you should have a main method. So if I want to execute my method, so there is no memory for my method, right? So for to execute my method, I'm creating object. So with object reference, I'm calling my test method, test B method. Now observe the output. Run as Java application. Now the test method will execute. It will give you output. This is test B method, right? Remember, team. So whenever you create object, internally this may happen. See here. This is a JVM memory, right? Sorry. Let's consider this is a JVM memory. If you create object for a class inside JVM memory, there will be allocation of memory for your class. This is your class memory. So let's consider you're creating object for B class. What is the syntax? B object equals to new of B, right? And the reference name is, this is reference with B, object or object. It's not object, right? Obj. This will happen, and it store your variables, it store your methods. So to create a memory, what is the special keyword we are using? New. Whenever you create object for a class by using new keyword, there may be an allocation of memory inside JVM for your class. This will happen for any class, any number of classes. Clear, team? Any idea? Sorry, any questions? No questions? So to execute our methods, what should we have? We have to create memory. How can we create a memory for a class? By using special keyword called Java. We have a syntax for that. To create object, what is the syntax of creating object? That is class name. What is my class name here? As of now I'm using B. So you have to give the syntax like this. This is my B, class name, object name equals to new keyword, and again class name. This is how you have to create object for your class. And whenever you create object, whenever this line execute, the inside JVM there may be a allocation of memory for your class, and this class will contain your variables and your methods. As of now I am having a method called test B. There may be allocation of memory for your test B, and this how you are calling with object reference. Now you can execute your test B method by using like this obj dot test B method. Now this test B method will execute because it is having memory. It is using your class memory which is inside JVM memory. Clear, team? Any doubts? Please let me know. No worries, right? Can I continue? Please respond, team. If you are not responding, I'm unable to understand whether you are getting or not. Thank you, Bhargav. Yes, exactly. How you are accessing variable? Same. This is also same. So we are creating object for a class. For that object, we are giving a reference like variable name. So with variable name reference, we are able to access the variable value, right? So again, the object reference, we are able to access the methods. And again, see, again, so if you have a value like this, if you have a int a equals to 100 here, or else int b equals to 200, see here, you can access your variable value by, again you can using object reference b dot, sorry, this is the object, right? This is a b dot b here. Again it is the value. Now first b, for understanding purpose, to avoid confusion, let me give this one as object. This is object dot method. This is object dot variable. You can access your, sorry, okay, this is getting error. As of now, let me give static. There is a concept behind this one. Int static. Okay, this is again this class. Okay, as of now, let me maintain another variable. Or else, let me take one more class, ma'am. Class object test. See, this is my class object test. So if I having a method public void test method, so this is my public void test method. So if I want to execute for understanding purpose, let me take system.out.println. This is test method, right? So if you want to execute this statement, first of all, I should have a main method, right? So inside this main method, if I want to execute this statement directly, I can call it. So there is a restriction reasons. For that, I have to create object for a class. Class name, object name equals to, by using new keyword, class name parentheses, right? This is how we have to create object. Whenever you create an object, there will be allocation of memory for your class. Now, so by using this object reference, you can able to access methods, right? So again, there is a variable like int static a equals to 100. Why it is getting error? Right? So you can access like this. Again, this is also you can access obj dot a. But why I'm getting error here? Because you have to store it into one more variable, that is, you can say give, like b, right? So just we are creating object for a class. If you want to access your methods, if you want to access your variables, just to create object for that class. Now whenever you create object for that class, and inside this memory, there will be a possible of allocation your methods name and your variable name. You can access your methods, you can access your variables by using that method, sorry, variable. Clear, team? Here, let me take here class B, class A, we have right? So let's go to the next one. See here. I have a two classes, class A, class B. Please consider team. So here I have a method called public void test B method. System.out.println. I want to execute this test method. So how to execute? Already we know, right? So first, initially, the major way we can create object for class. Where I create an object for class? Inside main method, right? So inside main method, we have to create object. Let's consider if it is a class B, I have to create object like this, class B, class name, object name equal to new class name. After that, so now memory will be allocated inside my JVM. Now memory reference name dot test method, because I want to access my test B method, right? And now if I execute this program, what will be the output? It will execute test B method. Now my test B method having, sorry, my test B class having test B method. Again, so consider my test A having one of the method test A. This is test A class, this is test B class. Sorry, this is A class having test A, B class having test B. Now tell me, if I want to execute test A class, sorry, test A class test method, A class test A method, how to execute? If I want to execute A class test A method, how to execute? Tell me the possible way, ma'am. If mistake also, no problem. Tell me the possible way. Okay, 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 okay. See, even I can access like this test A method by creating object, but see, I can access, if I want, I can access by by creating object reference, same again. So how we are accessing B here? Like this, even we can create object for a class, even we can access this test A variable, so test A method. This is not a big deal. But remember team, remember, so object creating nothing but creating a memory. Yes or no? So if you keep on creating objects, see this is a, let's consider this is a JVM memory. Inside JVM memory, if you keep on creating objects, at certain point of time you are running your program out of memory. See, let's consider you have 100 classes. You keep on creating memory for your 100 classes. There will be a running out of memory at certain point of time. Anyway, we have a garbage collector, but you may run your program out of memory. That is not a good practice. Remember, always you have to run your program by using less memory allocation. That is a good practice. That is a good way to write a program. If you write a program, see, you have to write a program by using less memory allocation. You have to write a code less code, right? In effective way in the sense, so you have to execute so much of code by writing less code, and always you have to allocate less memory. So here observe team, observe, see, so with a single step I can able to access, I can able to execute my A class test method, B class test method by using single object. I can access my A class method and B class method with single object. See, for that in Java we have a concept called inheritance. We have a concept called inheritance. So what is the what is the main objective of inheritance team? So main object of inheritance is you can reduce memory allocation, you can optimize the code. See, what let's consider. So first of all, how to implement inheritance. Let's say, so if I want to make relationship, if I want inheritance nothing but a relationship. If you want to make inheritance between the two classes, I can implement a relationship like extends. There is a keyword called extends. You have to give a keyword here after your class name. You can give like this extends, and you can make relationship between two classes by using this extend keyword. Now my B class extends class A. Right? Now observe team. Now this time earlier, if I say B dot, I can access only test B. Now this time observe team, I can access test A also. Observe. Now select test A. Now run as Java application. So here it is a B, right? See, it should be A, right? Observe team. This is test B, this is test A from test A class, run as Java application. See, test B from test B class, test A from A class. Nothing but we are making a relationship to reduce number of objects. See here, to execute my test A method, have I created A class object here? Am I created A class object, team? No, right? I haven't created A class object here. Directly, I can able to access this test A method with B class object. Nothing but I am making a relationship between two classes by using a special keyword called extends in Java. That is the use of extends keyword. This is a concept we are calling as inheritance. What is inheritance? Inheritance nothing but one object acquiring properties of another object, right? Nothing but we are able to execute two classes properties nothing but variables, methods. We are able to execute two classes methods by using a single object. So B is a single object. Always remember, whatever the first class we have to create that class only. We'll tell you to, we'll discuss in detail. This is the inheritance. What is the main object of inheritance here? What is the main object here? What is the use? To reduce number of objects creation, so that we can reduce memory creation, so we can execute with less memory. Clear, team? See, inheritance nothing but one object acquiring properties of another object. So here we are able to execute two classes properties. Remember, properties nothing but people are saying this is one of the technical word. Properties nothing but it is a combination of methods plus variables. Methods from plus variables of a class. Properties. So we can able to execute two class properties by using a single class object. That is the actual use of inheritance. See, inheritance, we have a types of inheritance, team. Let me take new one. So we have a types of inheritance. Let's see. So as of now we have seen, right? So class A, this is, let's consider this is class A. So we have a one more class B. We are making relationship, right? So what is the keyword we are using here? What is the keyword, team? What is the keyword we are using here?
Extends.
Exactly. There is a keyword called extend coming from Java. See, if I make B extends A, see, this is a keyword called B extends. See, if I make B extends A, always you have to give like this. Extends A. Now, if I make relationship, if I say B extends A, my B is acting as a child, my A is acting as a parent. In general, So in general, this is in Telugu also Vamsha Paramparya something. So let's consider. So if you make a relationship between two classes, always the class which is before the extends, that is acting as a child, and which is after extends keyword, that is acting as a parent. Always you have to give like this only. In child class only you have to make like B extends A. Now my B is child, my A is a parent. Always properties coming from parent to child. Suppose if my father having a bike, I can use it, right? Like that only. If I have a method here, test method, test A method, here test B class can execute test A method, because this property is coming from here. Let's consider, just imagine this is just like a bike. The father having a bike, he can, the child can, or son can ride this bike, right? Like that only. If the parent class having the properties, whether it may be a variable or whether it may be method, here we can execute in child class, nothing but B class. In B class, whatever the properties of parent class, child class can execute. Property is nothing but collectively methods and variables we are calling as the properties. And child class can execute parent class properties. Child class can access, child class can access parent class properties. Always remember, so we can make relationship between two classes by using a special keywords called extends. And the reverse access, it is not possible in Java. This is not possible. This is a wrong way. Always properties coming from where? Properties coming from the parent. See here, if you create object for A class, you cannot access B class property. That is why reverse accessible is not possible in Java. Always followed access, nothing but always child class can access the parent class properties. Clear, team? Let me observe that example also. Let's see here. Let me create a class called C, right? Let me create a class called D separately, not in a single file. See this one. C is my one of the independent class. D is also one of the independent class. So now, if I want to make a relationship between C and D, how to make relationship, team? How to make relationship between C and D? Come on, team, quickly. How to make relation between C and D? By using a Java keyword called extends, right? My one class extends another class properties. Here you have to say like this. Now, which is a parent, which is a child? Which is child, which is a parent? See here.
C is the parent.
See here, my D is child here. C is parent here. Here, suppose if I have a method like this, public void test, this is in C class, right? Let's give D, right? D class. For understanding purpose, system.out.println, this is the method coming from D class. Maintain same in C class. This is C here. Now observe. So if I want to execute my C class test method, I can execute like this. Create object in child class. Which class object? D. D equals to new of D. D dot test D method. Nothing great, right? Done as Java application. Now observe, this time I can access my C class test C method sorry, it should be C, right? Now this time I can access even my C class test D method also, right? This is come where? This is from this class only, from D class. This is from where? This is from C class. Clear, team? I have make a relationship between C and D. My D is acting as child, C is acting as parent. Observe. Test D, test C. So what we are achieving here? We are accessing two class properties by creating a single class object. So we are reduced one class object creation. We are reduced one class object memory creation inside JVM. Clear, team? And remember, if you said the relationship once, that's the final. So here we are saying D extends A. Nothing but D is a child, C is a parent. So again, if you go for C and if you say that C extends D, it will give you error because already you have made a relationship one time. See, already you have made a relationship between two classes by using extends keyword. Child class extends parent. Again here you don't need to, if you want to create again this parent extend child, it's not possible. Always if you make relationship one time, that is the final. You should not change the relationship again and again. The program will not allow you to change the relationship. Always you have to make relationship single time. If you make relationship single time, that's the final. Now I have made relationship like C extends D, or else you can make here also only one way. Only one way the program allow you to create a relationship. Clear, team? Any doubts here? No, right? So in inheritance we have a types. So we have types like single level, multi-level, multiple. How we can make a relationship with multi-level will take. So we'll discuss. So this is we are calling as single level. This is the first one we are calling as single level. Nothing but see. So one class extending properties of another class. There is a relation between only two classes. This is a single level. So if you are making relationship, even I can take multiple classes like this. And the relationship between these classes like this. If I document this one, how to document, ma'am? So let's consider this is A class. This is B class. And this is, let's consider this is a C class. How to make relationship? You have to document like this. Here C extends B. Here B extends A. Now if you make a relationship, always remember you have to create object for grandchild. Nothing but here this is a parent. Which is parent here? B is a parent. Let's see here, parent. This is a grandparent. Here we are calling as grandparent. and you can call this one child or grandchild. Always remember, if you want to achieve inheritance, if you want to achieve the code reusability and optimization, always you have to create object for which class? Child class only. Remember,
C.
you have to create object for only one and only. You have to create object for C class. C class, C equals to new of the keyword called new C. Now, by using this C class, you can able to access A class properties, C dot B class properties. Now you can access C dot C class properties. Nothing but methods and variables. Observing, by using a single class, by using a C class, I can able to access, I can able to execute my C class properties, B class properties, A class properties. Like this, you can maintain any number of classes. This is we are calling as multiple inheritance. Not multiple. This is a multi-level. This is a single level. This is a multi-level. Clear, team? This is the how you have to achieve inheritance. Right? This is about inheritance. What is the main objective of inheritance, team? To less memory allocation, to access number of classes properties by using
One
by
object.
creating a single class object. So if you want to execute all the classes method, you have to make relationship by using a keyword called extends. By using extend keyword, we can make relation between classes. Always remember, whenever you say one class extends another class, first class is a child and second class is a parent. Always following access is possible, and child can access parent class properties, parent cannot access child class properties. Remember this one. And always remember, you have to create object for which class? You have to create object for only child class. This is you have to remember anytime. Always create object for child class. This is the ground rule, ma'am. This is the ground rule you have to remember. Always create object for child class. Then only you can access the parent class properties and child class properties. Clear, team? And the task is tomorrow.
One small doubt.
Yeah, ma'am. Go ahead.
In multi-level inheritance, if I want to access A properties from B,
A properties from B, yeah.
then I have to create a new object in B, or
You can create, ma'am. Suppose, see here, you can create object for B, something object name equals to new of B. Now you can able to access B dot A class properties. Now B dot B class properties. But so B dot C class properties, are you able to access?
no?
It is not possible.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay.
So even we have a multi-level hybrid hierarchy. We'll discuss tomorrow. So task is just try to take at least 10 classes. Try to execute these 10 classes by using a single object, so that you will get a good practice. Right, team? So try to create class like this, A, B, C, D, E, F, and try to make relationship between multi classes, and try to execute all classes methods, all classes references, and even possible just take one variable, take one method, try to access from child class, variable of parent class, variable of child class, method of test child class, method of parent class. Okay, team? Still any doubt, ma'am?
No, no doubt in it.
Thank you, ma'am. So remaining we'll discuss tomorrow. So try to understand the concept, and try to watch the video again and try to practice. And please, today itself, just practice this one and send a mail to me. This is must, ma'am. So from today onwards, I don't want to leave you. Just try to practice minimum 1 hour. So if you not practice, always it's a waste of your time and my time. Please practice. Okay. Thank you, team.